Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. If I have to say it one more time, spoiler alert. Greetings and salutations. This is your girl, Outspoken Diva, and let's have a talk about it, shall we? What are we talking about today? We are talking about the Lesbian Homie season 5. Uh, that is on being shown on Tubi as of this moment. So yeah, go check it out. Um, what is Lesbian Homie? Lesbian Homie is about a guy named Bruce who ends up in birds and bees and other shenanigans with one and or I mean with at least two and maybe possibly more uh, lesbians who are more on the masculine side. It's a fun watch. It's funny to me, you know. It's educational also, so you know, cause you know, y'all know me. Anyone who actually knows, you know, I don't watch things that I don't at least learn about. I mean, very rarely do I watch things that I have to turn my brain off to enjoy. So yeah. Since we're gonna do a review, y'all know what we're supposed to do. We gotta do the good, the bad, and the diva of Lesbian Homie season 5. This was created by Big Jai. He's a comedian and content creator. This season was not on YouTube. This season was on Tubi, and he finally, you know, got the big deal. And yeah, everything's on Tubi. So this time, so yeah, and all the other seasons are on Tubi also. So you want to get into this? Yeah, let's pause and you want to watch it before I spoil it. Pause this now. Come back. I'll be here. Okay. Anywho, let's talk about the good. Let's talk about E's growth. Anybody who's been following me and watching my reviews on Lesbian Homie, y'all know I am not the biggest fan of E. E is selfish. E is immature. And finally, I think we see that E is yeah, it has to do a little growing up, little growth. You know, she finally sees some things that others don't see. She finally, you know, sees things, and yeah, we also get to the crux of why E needed to grow up. Um, which let's take that to our the discussion of daddy issues and mother wounds. So, he had daddy issues, not in the terms of was daddy missing. No, dad was in her life, but it's the way dad was in her life. It's the relationship that they had. There's also the relationship that he and she had. Um, they both had with her sister. Also, so you know, the dad treated them differently. You know, he loved both of his daughters, but one daughter was not treated as a daughter. It was more of a son, you know, son with female biological parts, and that was E. And her sister was not. Her sister is was treated as a daughter. um, Mother wounds. Well, let's back up. Let's talk about Bruce. We get some. Bruce has to have some come to Jesus moments. Number one with his friends. You know, he finds out, yeah, your friends are the not your problem. You know, they're not the problem. Issue. Sorry guys, I'm getting a little hot in the face, so sorry. Issue. You know. Um you are not a total victim, but you have some, you know, there are portions where you are the victim. And we're getting down to why the lesbian homies. We have to talk about your mother wounds. Yeah. And we also find, lesbian homie is slowly but surely we are starting into this full world building, and we have now, as of season 5, we have met all of his family. Bruce has we met his sister, his brother, has an older sister, has an older sister older than him, and we meet mom and dad and an auntie. Okay, and we find out that mother wound. We found out that Bruce has a mother wound. Mother wound is the same thing as daddy issues. It's just for the mom. And of course, both genders can have daddy issues. Both genders can have mother wounds. Okay, we probably gonna find out. We probably could see that E has a mother wound, but it's kind of obvious. But the main crux of it was her daddy issues. Bruce in this situation, he has a daddy issue, but the main crux of him is his mother wound. So yeah. Um, we talked about seeing families. We talked about daddy issues, mother wounds. We're gonna stay on family stuff. Reese and Tracy, we get to see them be sisters and be kind to one another and have each other's back, and that was a good thing to see because that was last season. Yeah, Reese had to have her come to Jesus meeting moment, and yeah, okay. Of course, it's always good to see the voice of reasons. This season, of course, Tay, Tay has to be a voice of reason and a bridge for some, for some characters. He's not as angry all the time. Chris, we finally got that. Oh, oh my God, we got that. Season 1, she did that. I was like, she was like, oh, you know, and she has that moment. Or wait a minute, I caught on to what you're saying. Bam, y'all think I'm not paying attention, but and of course Renee, y'all know Renee is my by Kirsten, played by Kirsten Hurst. She is my favorite character. I'm sorry, she is consistent. You know, it, I hope we don't. If we gonna world build with Renee. I hope Renee is not a hypocrite, but Renee is always consistent. She is always, hey, y'all need to stay in this lane. Quit, stop dibbling and dabbling and doing stuff. Hey, I'm proud. And then when she's proud of them, hey, I'm proud of you. You doing your thing. I like Renee. But yeah, they're always the good voices of reasons. Also, this season we got some educational things. Um, there was a situation with Bruce. If y'all know that, if y'all, those of you who have watched, y'all know the end of season 4. The lady that he was involved with, Zara, is with child. She's dressed now not as feminine. She's dressed stereotypical masculine, lesbian present, masculine presenting lesbian stud. But she's also a child. Okay. Well, we open up her world, and we find out she has a partner named Bonita, and we go into the world of IVF, and possibly, well, it wasn't possibly, there is male reproductive fluid stealing. Okay, we're just gonna call it, call a thing a thing. We're gonna call it spade a spade. We're just gonna say it like it is, just what they did. Okay, and if there's a season 6 and Bruce decides to take some folks to court, okay, press charges, and this, okay. But anyways, yeah, and when we find out that Zara being with Bruce was a whole setup, okay, it's a whole setup between her and Bonita, and yeah, we have to go through whether this child really was Bruce's or not, okay. Also, Breakers, E's friend Sam. learns about what a breaker is, and I did too. I wasn't. I mean, I was a little like taken aback, but I wasn't too shocked because I'm putting nothing past people. Just like the fluids, male reproductive fluid stealing breakers. This is what it was described as, where it was a couple, a cis heterosexual couple, man and woman, who try to see if they can get a stereotypical stud to sleep with them, the man and the woman. And yeah, that was an interesting thing. If in season 6, Sam decides to take her fist and see these people, I won't. I won't say I disagree with her. Okay, but yeah. But we also have to go and reach around back to, you know, the ease thing on pretty B words, like pretty B words, and when Sam and Chris were in season 4, hooking up with women, doing those type of things, because you know they wore the dresses and stuff like that. All of them, we pretty much know that that's gonna. We know that that is kaput. E grows up. We saw Chris give it up because she's in a relationship, but she stopped, and Sam stopped. I mean, Sam was stopped. Okay. Uh, yeah, kind of like, it's kind of like some karma, comeuppance, But again, you know, it happened. But yeah, I'm glad to see that that was stopped, because I actually thought the pretty B words, like pretty B words situation, method of how they were linking up with women. It was kind of, it was kind of gross to me. But hey, all right. So we've gone through all of them, but then let's talk about my biggest good, the good that I wanted to see: Bruce and Reese. The thing that that I always wanted. Bruce and Reese are finally in a relationship. It took us a while. We had to go through a path. On that path was a little obstacle, like a couple of obstacles, but there's this one. We'll get to him in a minute on the diva. But yes, Bruce and Reese are dating finally. And I've always been a fan of Reese and Bruce because it was a mutual attraction. Okay. Bruce saw what he wanted, and he saw who he wanted. He shot his shot. Eventually, uh, Reese saw that, yeah, I can think I like you. I actually do like you. Season 2 was wrapping up, and here come E being a hater, and season 5, Reese and Bruce. It almost didn't happen because we had to go through a paternity thing, but hey, we got it. We got it here, okay? All right. And those are the ends of my goods, okay? All right, let's talk about these bads. I don't think my bads are as bad. I think they're more petty, but they're bad. All right, we talk about the ending. The ending. Bruce and Reese are together. One of the stumbling blocks they had was E, of course. All right. In the end, there are several reasons why I don't like the ending. In the end, we see Reese, we see E in separate places, separate domains, having to regurgitate in the morning. So it is possible both of them may or may not be with child. It is possible that Bruce is the father. Especially probably E's. Maybe not with Reese. We'll get to that. But here's my problem. That's already because now we supposed to talk about. We got to go through the whole immature Reese is gonna. I mean, not immature Reese. Immature E shows back up because if she is with child, we're gonna play with the hormone and the stereotypical pregnant emotional woman, and immature Reese is bound to show back up. Okay, that's number one. Number two, E just got a job playing ball. Please, I beg, Big Job, please, I beg of you. Season 3, she just sick. Okay, she had a bad clam. She had a bad piece of chicken, a bad piece. She had a bad apple. Okay, banana. Okay, because we talking about her livelihood. Don't no, this is her journey. Come on now, let's not do that. Then we also have to go through it with Reese because Reese was involved with an Officer Charles, and now we got to figure out, if Reese, I hope Reese is not with child either, but because now yeah, we gotta go through the whole whose baby is it? Whose baby is this? Now this also goes back to the ending ticked me off because then all of a sudden I had to think about it. Bruce, so you already had a slip up with one chick and her chick, a couple, and you almost was somebody. So you didn't know the strap? You didn't strap up anymore? Are we so familiar with people where we don't strap up? Why is there like lack of contraceptive? I just, I don't like this. These characters are too old to no. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And from going forward, and long as everybody just sick, they had some bad, they had a bad meal. They just didn't feel well, little viral or something, little stomach ache, you know, milk soured on their stomach. Don't let them be pregnant. Don't let them be with child. Cause no, stop. And please, everybody start strapping it up. Let's have contraception, okay? All right, okay. All right. The absence of Rob and the poor attendance of Nadia. I mean, Nadia is a voice of reason, but not enough. I mean, and we get to see her, but we don't get to see. I mean, I know her and Rob were out of town opening a new shoe store and all that kind of stuff, but no, Nadia and Rob are my favorite couple. I'm sorry, I know people go up for Tay and Amber. Congratulations to them on their engagement, but Nadia and Rob are my favorite couple, and I want to see them together. I did not see Rob. I don't know where Rob was. I mean, the actor who plays Rob. Missed him. Missed him with Nadia. We want season 6. We need to see them. If there's a season 6, I want to see them together. And we need, I mean, phone calls are good. People talk. But Nadia, we like Nadia. She needs to. I should have been able to say the voice of reason was Nadia, along with Chris, Renee, and Tay. Okay, all right. And when we were talking about Reese and Tracy, it should have been Rob too, because they're siblings, and they should have already all been able to get along together, and be there for Reese. Get Rob and Nadia back, okay? All right. All right. There was a storyline. Natasha comes back. That's the lady who Bruce was dating before, and when he was dating her, and hold on. Bruce was dating her, and then he season 4 he got caught messing around with Reese, and break up. She breaks up with him, right? Okay. They meet. There is a happens. Bruce just happened to see her out and about. Out one night, and she lets it be known. They have the okay, let's hash this out, and then she brings up that she knows about the possible child. And then once we, go through all of this, and Bruce confronts Zara about, whether this is his child, and, we find out what all happened and all this kind of stuff. We find out that Zara's partner, Bonita, is the one who told Natasha. I really wish we could have expounded upon that. It was just like, well, how did she find out? And then Bonita shows up in the door, and I was like, we could have expounded on that. We could have stretched that out. We could have fleshed that out a little bit more. Okay. All right. So yeah, like I said, my bads are more petty, not petty. Lack of contraception is not, and having Robin, Nadia not there. Those are not petty. We need them. Okay. All right. And deep in the people child. All right, the diva. Those of you who don't know, the diva are things that more represent me. I don't. No one. No, this tells you, no one ever really dresses like I prefer them to dress. Whether, no matter how you identify, in life, clothing is clothing on the show. Nothing ever goes, oh, that's really good. No. But, there are some things that, so. Uh, there is one thing. There are three things, but there's one thing. We got to see E walk away. Like, we got to see her backside, the back of E. And there's a point where she's not sexualized or sexualized. We don't have to go through the yams and, if those of you who are familiar with Big Jai's work, there's no sound effects to her. She just gets to walk away, and that is a good thing. At some point, as we mature E, we have to mature how E is looked and looked at. So yeah, okay. Because this is why how all this got started was because Bruce saw the backside of E one day, and okay. So yeah, she's not ogled anymore. I'm happy. There are some quotes. I am going to put them up on the screen here because I didn't write them down in my notes. But these quotes were very good quotes. One was from Bruce's dad, Bruce Sr., and one is actually from E. And those were very good quotes. Okay? If you see them, those of you who follow me on social media, Instagram or my biological name, so Facebook, if you actually know my biological name, or Blue Sky, you see those, if I put those and I'll be like, okay, from E, from in the Lesbian Homie, or Bruce Senior, those were very good quotes. Those were very good quotes. I like those. And then let's talk about some eye candy. Don't get me wrong, there are good looking men on this show. There's a lot of good looking men. No, a few. No. But that Officer Charles, that guy who plays Officer Charles, girl Reese. But Reese didn't know where her heart belonged, and I actually have to big up Officer Charles for being a decent human being. Because he actually, when Officer Charles was the officer who arrests E in season 4 for speeding, and we start off season 5 with the court, her going to court, and they're making a case. She has to go to court for the case and all that kind of stuff. And he speaks highly of her, and then we find out why they are, actually linking up on the side and all that kind of stuff. But that's not why he does talk about the character of Reese and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, he is actually a very good guy. It's just bad timing, how hard it's work, how hard it is, and yeah, but that is a good looking man. That was, yeah, eye candy. I can't say I've ever had eye candy for this show. But yeah, Officer Charles. If they go the route that we think they are, well, Officer Charles will probably have to be back. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's the end of my review on season 5 of The Lesbian Homie. Those of you who have watched, how did you feel about season 5? Did you enjoy it like I did? What do you want for season 6? Um, so yeah, like drop them down, drop all your ideas and things that you about that. Drop them down in the comment section of this video on the social media site that you see this on. You probably won't see this on the social media site. No, just leave it down below, or you can email me at the email address that you see this on. And I mean, and the email address is in the description box. Okay. And yeah, I'm rambling. So, other than that, talking to you in adult terms.